a Disney movie that's called Coraline or Coraline, and I'll also be redoing some of my old Disney exposed videos, but this is another movie that basically they like to promote on the youth. As we see, Coraline was origins and techniques of Monarch mind control. In fact, the very first scene of the movie is basically a mind control 101 summation of the entire process. It shows a pair of creepy metallic hands transforming an old doll into a new one. If one examines this scene closely with eyes to see, meaning eyes to see, you are given the eyes to see and the truth to it symbolizes biology and creepily depicts how MK slaves are taken, traumatized and programmed by a handler represented throughout the movie by a metallic hand, which you'd think at the start you'd think, oh, it's just a doll, but if you look closely you'd understand that this is what they basically put in front of you. This is some of the celebrities. This is what happens to them. The brainwashed. Basically, they're owned. Basically, they are owned. The creepy hands of an unseen creep are about to get to work on this doll, which represents an MK slave. As we see, its clothes are removed using scissors, a reference to abuse. Hair ripped out from its head, a form of trauma. Introducing torture. As we know, many of them are tortured and eyes ripped out, as you might know by reading. The removal of eyes is the main symbol representing MK, mind control, programming. As you see, the insides are forcibly removed, representing the removal of the slave's core persona, meaning when they are, as you see with Rihanna and that, when they're inducted into the illuminati, their old personality is now gone, like the old person is dead. They go, as you've seen in the Rihanna song that she did, she was in a bath with purple water. That was basically her way into the Illuminati industry. The doll is then refiled by the handler and made to look like Coraline. The creation of the alter persona is symbolically complete, meaning their own personality. The first scene of the movie sums up what will happen during the entire movie. The programming of a young girl by a sadistic handler. Before going into the details of the movie, Caroline is a little girl who moved into a new house with her parents. She consistently bored and unhappy, and her parents do not give her any attention she wants while exploring her new house. Caroline finds a small door that leads to an alternate version of her reality. which her parents are fun and alternate to this Alice in Wonderland, as we know. The person, she is bored with her life and wishes for fun and adventure. She magically enters a world that is strange but wonderful, and she gets hooked into the alternate world and doesn't want to go back to reality. For this reasons, these stories are used as programming tools in an actual mind control session. These storylines encourage slaves who are being tortured to escape the trauma by dissociating from reality and entering an alternate reality programmed by the handler. By doing so, the brain disconnects from the body and the sensation of pain disappears. While watching The Wizard of Oz, slaves are told to go over the rainbow, and while watching Alice in Wonderland, they must walk through the looking glass. Coraline follows a similar script as the goes through a small door to access the wonderful ultimate reality. This world is everything wishes for, but there is one small hiccup. It is fate created by a sadistic handler to manipulate her. Let's look at the movie. You see it is voiced by Dakota Fanning, a child star. She was about 15 when working on Who has appeared in other MK themed movies. The character appears to have a magical side. At the beginning of the movie, she is shown practicing the ancient occult activity of dowsing of water witching. Coraline, looking for a secret well using a downing rod. Because of this, her friend YB will call her a water witch. As you see, a water witch or dowser, red drawn from a 16th century woodcut. Later in the movie, Father calls her a twitchy witchy girl while singing to her. Throughout the movie, magical, supernatural things happen around her. However, we later discover that meant to lead Coraline to her handler. All of these scenes upload to the witchcraft aspect involved in MK mind control. At one point, with YB, a strange gift, a doll that looks just like her. In MK symbolism, dolls represent the slave's other personality persona, which we'll call this doll Little May, meaning that's her other personality. Brings this doll everywhere she goes. However, sometimes the doll appears to lure Coraline to places where her handler wants her to go, the alternate world, or in MK terms, this isolation. As we see, brick wall. Coraline finds a small locked door in her house. When her mother unlocks it, the door leads nowhere. As you see, it's a brick wall. However, at night, Coraline is magically led back to the door and she finds out that it leads to an alternate reality. And as we know with alternate reality, see with like in some of the MK mind control songs like K-pop, you'll see them going through a mirror, simulates their alternate reality. not the real realities that are made up. The other world, when Coraline goes through the door, she enters back into her house, but everything is slightly different. Coraline finds her other mother, who is warmer, more alternate, and a better cook than her real mother. Also, she has buttons instead of eyes. The symbolism of the buttons instead of eyes is extremely important in this movie. It illustrates that the characters in the alternate world are puppets fabricated by the handler. It is later revealed that the order of a mother is the handler in disguise, meaning a mind-controlled handler. Everything in the other world is tailor-made to charm Cora and to fulfill her needs, which are the needs of all children: receiving attention from parents, having fun, and discovering wonderful things. The handler therefore knows exactly which buttons to push to get a positive response from Coraline. Knowing that Coraline is upset with the disgusting food her real parents, the other mother projects the warm and comforting sight of a mother preparing a home-cooked meal for her family. In the other world, Coraline's father created an entire garden that looks like Coraline's face. When seen from above, this is another way to win over Coraline by tapping in children's need of being the center of the world. Everything is made especially for her, and everything is made to make her feel special. As expected, Coraline realizes that she likes it better in the other world, but things get creepy very quickly. While at first the movie caters to everything children like, it then turns to everything that scares children. Many parents reported that this seemingly child-friendly movie terrified their children and gave them nightmares. What a surprise that is. That's the whole plan of the Illuminati. The other mother asks Coraline to stay with her forever. To do so, however, Coraline must let the other mother sew buttons over her eyes. Basically, she'll be a puppet. Caroline, other parents proposing her to sew buttons on her face, notice the two horned Baphomet-like heads in the background. One behind the head and one on the wall. See on the wall right next to the lights on the ceiling, which is promoted in many films. They are prominently lit to emphasize the black magic occult transformation of the MK process happening in the alternate world. These horned heads are not there in the kitchen of the real world. The other parents again call Coraline our little doll. Our little doll meaning slave, and tell her that soon you will see things our way. Sewing buttons onto her eyes means that she would permanently become the handler's puppet, who would then, as the movie states, devour her soul. In NK turns, she would lose control of her core persona by staying stuck in the dissociated world created by her handler. The concept of eyes and the lack, therefore, is extremely important in this movie, as it is In actual MK programming symbolism, while the occult elite represents itself with the all-seeing eye, mind control is represented by removing eyes, causing the slave to lose sight of reality. As we say, be careful what you wish for is for adventures that kind that you fear, when others' intentions are often unclean. A creepy poster of the movie featuring an all-seeing eye inside a triangle. What a surprise. When Coraline refuses the button deal, the other mother gets angry and we see her true form, meaning evil, basically the devil. The illusion of the order, the other world, is broken. Coraline sees the true form of the other mother, a skeletal spider-like monstrosity. When MK slaves give into disassociation, the relief it causes at first quickly turns into a nightmare. As you see, no wonder it scared children. No wonder they scared children. I mean, look at it. Imagine a little kid watching this. Of course, I don't blame why they were scared. There you go, the one eye, the hand over the one eye, simulating the illuminati. As we know, one eye over your eye simulates. It's illuminati gesture. So no wonder kids had nightmares from this. It was a mind-controlled movie. Coraline is then locked in a room where she finds the ghosts of the other kids who became the handler's slaves. In the scene, the ghosts are hiding one eye while asking to find their eyes, the only way their souls will be freed. As you see, they've all got one hand over one. There you go again. The satanic star, which simulates witchcraft, as we know, wizards, and the one eye. And notice though it's in a pyramid. Says it all. To find the children ghost missing eye, Coraline must use a symbolic tool, a triangle with a hole in it. Is this a nod to the all-seeing eye triangle? The three ghosts called the other mother Beldam, which means ugly, evil-looking old woman. The world also remembers the term Grand Dame, the title given to important women in the Illuminati mind control system. An Illuminati Grand Dame will assist the programmers to ensure that the proper script is given to the child and that a psychopathic logic break doesn't occur, causing the victim to lose their mind. Fritz sprint the Illuminati former to create a mind control slave. Not so conditionally, the Beldam is basically plays the role of a grand dame in mind control programming. A close, loving bond is needed between a child and the intentional abuser, so that a clean spirit is created when the intentional mind-splitting trauma is carried out. The clean split occurs when the child is confronted with the two opposing viewpoints of someone who is important to them. The child can't reconcile the two extreme opposite views of the same person, one being a loving caretaker and the other being the worst kind of abuser. The person the child trusted the most is the person the child fears the most. Some professional therapists have come to realize that this is how the core is split. In Monarch mind control, the Grand Dame is one of the 3 people that assist in the programming of young slaves like Coraline. The Grand Dame is somewhat of a twisted figure, as a child of the Illuminati possessed through its programming. These people had oversight over its programming. Its grandmother is Grand Dame and the programmer. Throughout the movie, Coraline is told that there is only one key that can open and lock the door to the alternate world, and the Belgium desperately wants it. This key represents access to Coraline's psyche. Earth has control of it, or the Belgium does. For this reason, there is only one key. In her quest for freedom is not alone. She is helped by a strange character, the Black Cat. A nameless black cat becomes Coraline's guide and mentor throughout her journey. The Black Cat first appears to Coraline, which she's water witching at the beginning of the movie. In the European follow, black cats were believed to be witches, feminist spirits who aid and protect them while they accomplish their magical work. In Coraline, the Black Cat basically plays the same role and becomes virtual to her succeeding. While the cat appeared to Coraline in the real world, he also appears in the other world, and with no buttons on his eyes. Furthermore, when in the other world, the cat can speak with her. The cat also seems to know a lot about the Belgium and the world she created. In this scene, the Black Cat shows how the other world is a fake construct created by the Belgian to lure Coraline. In MK terms, the Black Cat is showing Coraline the confines of the dissociate world. While the Black Cat appears to be of great help, he also tends to lead into building traps. In this scene, the Black Cat leads back to the portal to the other world, causing her to dissociate again. So, is the Black Cat helping her or manipulating Coraline? The very end of the movie might provide an answer. After some adventuring, Coraline saves the ghosts by finding their eyes and destroying the constructed world. She then throws the key to the other world, which represents her psyche, down the magical well she found while water witching. Then happily goes back to her real world and tries to make the best of real life. Their family organizes a party in their garden, the same garden that was made to look like in the other world. As the view of the garden pans out, observant viewers might realize something odd. The garden is shaped like the face of Beld. While many viewers probably did not notice this almost subtle tidbit, it has a heavy meaning. It represents a Belgian imprint on Coraline forever, even if she was apparently defeated. But was the Belt truly defeated? Was Coraline actually manipulated by the cat? Was throwing the key to her psyche down that well a good move? Can the Belgian now trigger Karen back in whenever she needs to, like in other MK-themed movies such as Lady Ref? While the final scene of the movie appears to be a celebration, the celebration is dampened by creepy little details that hint that all might not be well and good. As you see, the movie ends with the black cat magically disappearing behind a pole. While at first glance, Caroline appears to vanish, her fall but a subtle symbolism is exactly what was expected from her a long time. The movie, which features visual based on the confrontive feel of art and craft, includes mind control. Unfortunately, most people still have buttons